Yeah, I was going to say it's not like you're counting on the same guys every night to an extent. I mean, AJ and probably at this point Dimitri are going to give you something, and then who?
Yeah, right, exactly. And fortunately, it's been somebody every game. And tonight was pretty balanced. Ken, Sammy, Josh, Chandler hit a couple big shots. Davion, again, he's been doing nothing out of this world, but very solid across the board. So and he had another 3 blocks today. So he's been doing that's 7 blocks right over the weekend. So him and as Breathwaite did a much better job today too of protecting the rim in certain parts. So we again things to build off of. A lot of things we got to clean up, but I think that could be a good thing in the sense that I think this team is capable of a whole nother level than what we're currently at, and I think that's normal for how young we are and how new we are. So, and 4-4, with a lot of close losses in there too. So there's some things to build off of, and but the key is we have to keep getting better. The key is we have to fix some of the things, especially defensively, that we're not being great at. Because like I told the guys, once you get into conference play, teams game plan, teams know you really well, and it's a lot harder to score on a lot of nights. And so you have to be able to fall back on being really consistent defensively.
Well, I was going to say, and offensively, are you worried about falling into a certain pattern and saying, well, if they stop this one thing, we're not going to do anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we that's where Sammy and Zach and we've tried to get them a little bit more involved. We just didn't do a very good job of executing those sets for them today. But I think when we were a little more stagnant today. I think we've been AJ,
which is funny. You scored 82 points.
Yeah. And I think probably when you look at the efficiency numbers, it was probably good. I think because I don't think there were a ton of possessions. I think we're probably we probably did score a decent amount on a per possession basis, and that's because listen, we shot very well from three again. 10 for 24. That's less percentage of our overall shots too. We didn't take as many, and thought we had some decent sets. We had some sets though where we were slow to get into our stuff, and we got a little stagnant, and we had to got one shot clock violation, a couple forced shots, here and there. So there are some things to clean up as usual, but I guess that's a good thing that we set the bar high enough offensively that you feel like 82 is room for improvement.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to say, well, Coach, the offense looked like it wasn't completely in tune tonight. But then I look down and I'm thinking 82 points. The fans are running around screaming about ice cream. You're opening a Klein's on campus now or something. And here we are. And it is strange that obviously, yes, you've set a situation where this team expects to be able to score and maybe even more easily than they did here tonight.
Yeah, I think one of the things we set out to do and what we really struggled with the first 2 years is, you have to have 5 guys on the floor every possession that are a threat to score. And we haven't, like sometimes the last couple of years it's been like 2 guys that were a threat to score. And I think one of the things that makes this team a lot more efficient offensively is pretty much every time there's 4 or 5 guys that can score the ball. So no matter where the ball ends up, it's with a guy that can do something with it. And I think you see that in our scoring balance and our efficiency so far this year.
You're a coach. You have a much better basketball eye than I do. Romello Anderson came in here and scored 30 points last night. He scores 31 here today. What makes this kid special for them?
He's just, they obviously tailor a lot of things for him just with the makeup of their personnel, and he's tough. He's shifty. He's long, so he can shoot over people, and that's what he did to us a couple of times. He hit those couple threes in our face, which made me a little frustrated because that was one of the things we were trying to take away. But
and also willing to go inside.
And that's the thing. He can score it inside, and again, so again that was when I say about our defense, we didn't do a good enough job on him in terms of containing him, and we had some decent moments, but not consistently enough. But credit to him, he's a very good player, and they run good stuff to get him shots.
I said during the broadcast at the very end that I would ask you this, and of course you don't have to share. I thought you spent a little longer than you normally do talking to the coach after the game.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you would share any of that with us.
Yeah, sure. So Evan Key, he's a great young man. He back when I was an assistant at Christopher Newport, he was our student assistant back when he was finishing up at Hampton. We had a great year, conference championship the year he was with us at Christopher Newport. And then when I got this job, he was one of the first guys I hired in our part-time slot. And then he was able, but right before the season started, to get a full-time job as an assistant at Cuca College up in New York. And then he was able to parlay 2 good years there into the apprentice job. So Evan's a great guy. I love him. And he inherited a tough situation, a very tough situation in terms of not having bodies, not having probably the personnel he would want. But I thought, to have their record and to fight and compete like they did today, I think is a testament to the job he's doing. And I told him, I said, they fought harder than we did, like I just said to you. And I think it's a testament to the job he was doing. I just told him he's going to be fine, and he's just got to stick with it because he's doing a good job.
When you went up by double digits and he called the timeout, and that's exactly what he said to them in their huddle. He said, they have more fight than us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
And they immediately responded
yes,
to that.
Yeah, and I think that's a test. That means your guys are bought in. That means your guys are listening. I turned to my assistant. I go, we were just up 16, and it was like 2 again. And again, that's what I mean in terms of fight, in terms of being able to make stops, being able to execute offensively, because that was the stretch where again we missed a couple layups. We missed some shots at the rim because we weren't unbalanced, and that's the thing we kind of talk a lot about offensively. So that sequence, that whole stretch there, we can give up leads very quickly. This team, I think that's like the 4th or 5th double-digit lead we've had, disappear in a span of like minutes this year. So, we're always entertaining, I think, one way or the other, Carl.
That's right. You got to spin it the right way.
Right.
But
yeah.
very exciting.
Yes.
Coach, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
I appreciate
for the time.
it. I appreciate
Head
it.
coach Sean Postiglione. The Eagles win here this afternoon, 82-73. We appreciate you tuning in to the Don Glick Classic.